the main roster. Obviously, there were a lot of changes that happened this season. Bertuzzi's out. A lot of roster overturn. Chris Tanev was brought in, acquired for his rights, then signed Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Anthony Stolarz. It seemed like they added a lot on the back end and tried to work around some pieces around up front. Given what they've done to this point in the offseason, what would you grade it as of now, and what needs to still be done? And if you're Brad Treliving on and you have a to-do list to do?
Yeah, I think if you just isolate it to the back end, I mean, if you go back 2 or 3 years at the Maple Leafs defense core and then look at it now, obviously it hasn't been put on ice and you haven't seen exactly how they're gelling, but on paper, I think it looks pretty solid. You got, a few different layers of different styles of players with different experience levels and skill levels. And I think that, if things go anything but, really poorly and you get a bunch of bad luck and guys aren't gelling and you can't find that chemistry, which I don't expect any reason for that to happen. I think that decor could look pretty solid and kind of just be out of sight, out of mind for the team. Where I see it, being a little bit lackluster as you look at the forwards and you're seeing, Holmberg and McMahon being up there on high up in the depth chart. And I just nothing against those players, but if you're talking about a Stanley Cup caliber winning team, I think you need a lot more depth and a lot more pieces up front. Obviously, you've got your firepower, quote unquote, with what used to be called the core four or whatever, and those guys are quite talented. But when your problem is scoring goals and putting the puck in the net in the playoffs, I worry a little bit about their forward setup. You can't put everything on Austin Matthews and say, oh, go win us a series, go win us a Stanley Cup. It's not going to happen. So if there's any additions to be made or plays to be made before the season or during the season, I certainly think it's up front. And then that leads me to, think about guys like Nyes. Are you going to step up Matthew Nyes and take another big step? I think he's done nothing but take great steps forward since coming into the pro ranks, and he's done very well. Can you do that again? Can you become that power forward who can play up and down the lineup? Easton Cowan, is he going to make the team? Is he old enough and mature enough to do it? If you look at his birth certificate, you go, holy smokes, we would be crazy to put any stock into this kid and expect anything from him. But from his maturity level that you can try to grasp when he's doing his interviews and talking about the game, and then what he's done in his career so far in the leagues that he's played in has been nothing short of excellent. So you wouldn't want to put it on a kid like that, but you could say maybe this guy's going to come in and make a really nice depth piece that's constantly getting better in the bottom six, perhaps. So you never know what's going to happen, but I do worry about them being a little bit lean up front.